What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40K. So for quite a while now, I've had an idea brewing in my head that pits the question between Horus and Abaddon. Who was the better Warmaster? So these two guys have a lot in common. One is a Primarch, one is, the progenitor of the Primarchs. One is a Space Marine who has done 13 Black Crusades. One is a Primarch that created the Horus heresy and pit the galaxy into the state that it currently is. Both of these guys have massive L's, but also massive W's under them. So who's the better Warmaster? Is it Horus Lupercal or Abaddon the Despoiler? And I was asking you guys this question because the last time I gave my opinion on something, you guys did not agree at all. And that was who was the worst Primarch. But anyway, that's a video that I did already, so you guys can check that out if you want. This question is, who is the better Warmaster and why? So I did a poll on YouTube a few days ago, and even though there was a clear winner, I do want to go through the replies and give you my thoughts on it as well, because I think it's a lot closer than it may seem on the poll. The poll, unanimously, with 77% of the votes, goes to Horus. Of course, Horus has a lot of good things on his side of the ring. For example, the dude's a Primarch, so he's already going to be faster, stronger, more durable, better equipped for fighting than a Space Marine such as Abaddon. Horus basically created the heresy, split the Imperium in half with a civil war, took out Sanguinius, took out the Emperor, interred him into the Golden Throne, and yes, he did die at the end of all this, and not just did he die, his soul was eradicated. But that may change with the final book of the Horus Heresy, The Death and the End Volume 2. So that is not set in stone. The whole Horus dying, his soul being eradicated because of the Emperor, that's old lore, but it still stands as of current, so that may change, so we'll work with that as we get to it. On the other side, we have Abaddon, who literally split the galaxy in half without the aid of the Chaos Gods. Remember, Horus did all this because he was the puppet of Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, and Slaanesh. So it's not like he did this all by himself. He did have the help of the gods of chaos. Abaddon said, away with that. I've seen my Primarch become a puppet to the Dark Gods. I'm going to do this my way. And his way has been working out. You can say that he lost 13 times with the Black Crusades, but they weren't about winning. They were about accomplishing certain goals, and these goals got accomplished. So take that how you will. It may seem on the outside that he's losing, but he's been winning as of late. He destroyed Cadia, which was a major area of Imperial-controlled space that allowed the Eye of Terror to become the Cicatrix Maledictum. So that's two huge W's right there. Cicatrix Maledictum split the galaxy in half, allowed the Imperium to not be able to send aid where it needs to, and also took out Cadia. On top of this, with the recent events of the Arcs of Omen, they came out on top. Vashdor and Abaddon's alliance actually won. They took out, well, they didn't take out Caliban, but they reconstructed Caliban. They fought against the Dark Angels, they fought against the Tau, they fought against Blood Angels, and they did got their butts whooped. But on the plus side, so did the Imperium, where the Imperium called the Arcs of Omen battle campaign a major loss. Angron also played a huge part in this, and that's another thing too, where both of these War Masters, they're able to take allies into their fold, allies that are quick to leave, allies that are quick to betray, allies that shouldn't have been allies in the first place, they're able to bring them to their side. So obviously Horus did this with the Primarchs and their legions, and Abaddon is able to do this even with the demon Primarchs themselves, such as Mortarion, Angron. He could sway them to their side. All the Chaos Warbands, even the demons of Chaos from the Warp, the Demon Forges and stuff like that, he too can sway them to his side, and he's been doing this time and time again with each Black Crusade. Clearly we see these guys are a force to be reckoned with. Their weaponry, their stats in actual tabletop, they're pretty good, both of them are. Obviously you have the Talons of Horus being used by both of them, where Ezekiel has the Blade of the Despoiler that's able to bypass any and all armor and force fields and rend your soul away. Horus did have that massive maul that was capable of crushing Space Marines, and Space Marines couldn't even lift the maul. That's how big, heavy, and powerful it was. So yeah, they are both awesome warriors when it comes to fighting. However, you can't deny that Abaddon loses in the aspect if you were to put them in a battle, because clearly a Space Marine cannot fight against a Primarch. They're going to lose time and time again. Not just that, but Horus ascended due to the dark gods, so that just puts Horus on a completely different tier, which is why he was able to contend with the Emperor for a little bit of time. Again, we'll see how that happens in the End of the Death. But let's go ahead and go to the comments here. Trash Panda 3677 says, Horus provided the overall goals for the Siege of Terra. It was Perturabo who decided on the strategies to use. It was Perturabo who saw the flaw in Saturnine Wall, and Abaddon was the only other person in the traitor forces to see it. Abaddon was able to convince Perturabo to greenlight the Saturnine operation. Horus was at that point weakened by the ruinous powers. Horus in his prime would be better Warmaster. However, once he started down the path to chaos, Abaddon makes for the better Warmaster. Again, the dark gods have this awesome benefit of giving him strength and power, but at the same time, Horus isn't the strategist he once was. He's now a puppet. He's losing himself. He's having hallucinations, talking to himself. He's not this awesome, charismatic warrior that he used to be. He's literally a conduit for the dark gods, and Abaddon sees this, and he knows this, and that's why he hasn't allied with Khorne, Slaanesh, Nurgle, Tzeentch, or any other minor god for that matter. He's doing things his way, and that's why I think it puts him a step ahead of Horus. This next one is by Merengue Tang 4. Abaddon hasn't had everything quite as easy as Horus did. He's struggled as much as he has because he's been trying to unite the incredibly fractured traitor forces that Horus left behind after he messed everything up. When Horus had them all mostly united and organized on his side, he didn't pass through the incredibly fortified systems to get to his objective, and in a lot of places, had the element of surprise, at least for a while. Abaddon has literally none of these things. He didn't fail to take Cadia 12 times before the 13th Black Crusade. Almost, if not all, I'm a bit rusty on the Black Crusade lore, but most of them had different objectives and places of which he succeeded in doing. Yeah, like I said, it seems to the Imperium that Horus's Black Crusades kept failing, but no, he was secretly getting shit done, and that's what put him to get everything he needed, set things in motion to finally be able to take down Cadia with the 13th. Rabid Jeremy says, Horus was a very strong puppet. If we looked at who was the strongest, it's clearly Horus. But when we look at what being a good Warmaster is, Abaddon closes the gap by being sneaky and manipulative. Abaddon is like a spider spinning a web, and Horus is like a rhinoceros, dominating with sheer strength. The other thing is that I think that Horus was much more inspirational to his men. When it comes down to the tiebreaker for me, is that Horus did it all in the time of legends when everyone was a badass. Abaddon is succeeding while the Empire of Man is at its weakest, that it has been in millennia. Yeah, you got it. That is a counter to Abaddon being, the underdog and coming out on top. Yeah, the Imperium is at its weakest, but we've seen with the recent events, Gilliman is back, the Lion has just returned, and even then, Abaddon is coming out on top. The Arcs of Omen are in his favor. So, don't count him off just yet, Rapid Jeremy. He's succeeding time and time again. The last one we'll look at today is by Stuart Mortimer. Stuart says, the fact that Abaddon isn't a Primarch and is still in the game, the long game, suggests a load about his character. He's not rushing for anyone, and he fights only winnable battles. Again, suggestive of a strong tactical mind. As said below, no one is forcing his hand. The ruinous powers aren't involved here. True, he's not faced a strong opponent in single combat like a Primarch, or obviously the Emperor, as did Horus. But Abaddon has genius. He's smart enough to know his limitations, and this makes him more dangerous to the Imperium. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Unfortunately, I will agree to the majority of the comments here and say that even though 77 of you guys said that Horus was the better Warmaster, in my opinion, it goes to Abaddon. But let's go ahead and keep the conversation going in the comments. Maybe you guys can sway me there, so let me know if you think otherwise. and how they can achieve becoming the best Warmaster. Again, guys, thank you for listening, thank you for watching. If you do like what we do here at One Mind Syndicate, a like, a comment, and a subscribe would be greatly appreciated. And if you guys want to go the extra mile, you can support us via Super Thanks here at YouTube, or you can check us out on our Patreon page and pledge just a simple $1 a month. It really goes a long way to helping the channel. But that's all I got for today. As always, it's been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.